Yo,
You
what's good, Click?
chilling, man. What's up? How you feeling?
I wanted to ask you something. So I was up listening to Sway in the morning, right?
Right.
And they played a song called G's Up featuring it was Jim Jones and Max B,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
And I know you a heavy Max B fan,
That's a fact.
right? So what's your thoughts on Max B? Why do you hold him in such high regard?
Um, I'm gonna say because just he had that it, and
Mm-hmm.
again, I always talk about like that it factor. He started a whole term called wavy. You
Right.
hear wavy, that's the first thing you think of Max B. His interviews, the way he rapped, he sang, he did everything, and he did everything better than everybody. And that's just he always been dope to me, man. Like 50 when he come out of jail, I'm still copping.
Right.
I fuck with Max B heavy, man. He did it, and it just shitty the way it happened because he was in jail for like 8 years for armed robbery.
Yeah.
Came home for like a year and a half, had the streets on smash, got into it with Jimmy, went back to jail, and he lived what he rapped. If you listen to like a lot of his songs, he talking about lining people up and and robbing them, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Unfortunately, somebody ended up dying, and his brother took the charge, and he went to prison. And he had a bum ass lawyer from New Jersey, but bum ass New Jersey.
Yeah.
His name is Gerald Saluti, I think, and he all on Vlad talking about, oh, we gonna get Max out of here, and Max is gonna blah blah blah.
He's still in
He
there.
tells he tells Max, hey, don't take the plea. Like look, if Max was probably like 30 something, if he'd have took like 10 years, he probably would have had to do maybe like eight, 9,
Yeah.
and he'd have been out. This dude is like, nah, we gonna get
We
you
gonna
out.
fight the case.
And they ended up giving him a football number. They gave my man 75 of them things.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But what the way karma works is that was a bum ass shiesty lawyer, and he got his whole shit rated, and he's in jail now. And
Max be
hopefully
about to
Max,
get out, supposedly.
right?
Yeah.
That's what they saying. I seen the interview with Doggy Diamonds with not Mac Mustard. What's son's name? Al Pac,
Mm-hmm.
his homeboy, who rapped with him, and he was like, he didn't say nobody's name, but he was like, the people that keep saying that they are there for Max and we gonna get you out. He said them the people that's not doing it. So I don't know if he was talking about French. I don't know if he was talking about Bruno, who was Max's manager.
Right.
He didn't say who he was talking about, but he was like, Max will be home. But them people that's saying that they looking out for Max,
They
not looking
not.
out for Max. And what I think is even dope is there's this thing on YouTube where they sat down with Wiz Khalifa and they asked Wiz Khalifa who his favorite rapper was, and he said Max B. And they're going through a song that why you do that song, Max B. And they're going line for line, and Wiz Khalifa's breaking down what Max meant line for line. That shit is dope.
Yeah, because I remember Wiz. I think it was Wiz Khalifa. Came out with a song or something called Wavy.
Right.
You know, and people was up in arms like you stealing Max B's whole shit, what he's known for. And he's like, nah, like that's my guy.
Right.
You
He
know?
was paying homage. And if I don't know if you remember if he was really on Twitter like that, but Kanye West, unstable old ass, Wiz has his own strain of weed called KK. And everybody knows this, but Kanye old ass. So he tweeted something about KK. Kanye thinks he's talking about Kim Kardashian. So they go through this whole big thing. And at the time, Kanye's album was called Waves or something like that.
Yeah.
Acts and like blah 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 and all that shit happened. But yeah, man, Max B's that like just off of his interviews alone, don't nobody do anything like that. Like if you look at, did you see the Doggy Diamonds joint?
Yeah.
He started talking about when he said we went in a hoopty. He said, I'm from Brooklyn. We went to Harlem. They said, hey, Max is on 100 and whatever. Go pull up on him and interview him. He said, man, he just saw this short motherfucker with long wavy hair with some sunglasses on talking shit and started recording them.
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because had he not went in, you know, he'd be one of the main people in rap right now.
I agree.
You know,
100%.
just based off his choruses. I fuck with whenever he's on a chorus and singing and shit. Like I fuck with that because it sounds good.
Yeah, man. Like if you ever get a chance, or anybody that's listening, you get a chance, listen to when he was down with Jim Jones, they got a mixtape that Jim Jones did called Harlem American Gangster. Pretty much he just took Jay-Z's American Gangster
yeah,
and just switched it up. But the intro song, they got Dame Dash talking shit on the right in the intro, and then Jim Jones starts rapping and Max B come on the chorus. Man, that shit's so but like you said, every song that he's on the chorus and he's killing it, and that's what he didn't like because he was like, "Y'all got me lined up like
you a singer, chorus. You know?"
Right. He was like, he said, "Y'all over here talking about Jim Jones, y'all laying up under Jim, and he's doing all the verses, and I'm on the chorus and maybe one verse, and he's looking like the star when I'm the really one that doing I'm the one doing the hard work." And that shit was what it was, but I wish they could squash that, but I don't know if it ain't going back.
Nah, I think that Jim won't let that, you know, especially the fact that I doubt he reached out, you know, since Max B been in, you know, right. But also I had mentioned I watched that Forbes DVD and Jim was high key tight at Max, you know, for fucking with French, you right. know. And talking about, it was asking like, you know, I heard you got Max B when that album dropped, and he's like, it's on the shelf forever.
Yo, because what happened was again, to break down anybody that got any confusion, what happened was French Montana used to be a cameraman, and he had Cocaine City DVDs.
Right, he was trying to rap and yeah.
Right, just like Smack. He wasn't in front of the camera or nothing. And there's a Cocaine City, I think it's like volume 5, where he got C's on there, and Lil C's is showing the video of when Jim Jones got jumped at Rucker Park by Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And that's what started it between French and Jim, because Jim is like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? On your platform, you showing me get jumped.
Yeah, getting right out the Rucker, you know, and we hear about it all the time now.
So yeah, man. But at the end of the day, even looking at that, Jimmy was fighting. Like, number one, I don't know if anybody's ever seen D-Rock from Bad Boy. That's a big ass nigga. Like, yeah. And he stole on Jim, and you can see Jim fighting. It's like a melee. I ain't gonna lie, Cam was on. Niggas back Cam was like, oh, fuck all that.
Yeah.
See all that clearly. They back Cam down. And Cam was like, and then you seen Jim in the crowd. And Jim got up. That motherfucker, he jumped over the fence like goddamn Olympic hurdler. That shit was wild.
I'll always have respect for Jim based on that, you know, because there's the narrative that he just continues to just, you know, he got pressed in Wyoming or wherever they was at, you know, but Jim's official. You know,
absolutely. Like Jim was a blood, and I know this because I grew up in New York City. Jim was a blood when it
wasn't just cool.
Exactly. And then everybody started doing it. Jim was at the tunnel, the known tunnel, holding Cam and them down with razors and this, that, and the third. Again, people could say and make these jokes and blah blah blah, but Jim Jones rode out for Dipset. Like, he wore that shit on his sleeve.
Right.
He was on the front line fighting. When him and Zeke was the ones fighting when Cam and Jewels was chilling. That's a fact. Jim was out there.
Let's be honest. If it weren't for that, Jim would be a bigger star than he is now. Well, you know, then you know, he's pretty much like a underground name. You know, you know Jim Jones, but he doesn't get the respect had he not been so militant when it comes to Dipset. Because people wasn't trying to really sign him or associate with him because he had this he had this name around him that he was dangerous to really do business with.
Right, absolutely. And like Jim, and everybody's saying that's what it was that like kind of separated him and Cam. Because if you remember, I think it was, I want to say 2007 when We Fly High like blew up.
Yeah.
That song was everywhere. The Giants was playing it when they won the Super Bowl. He was like a legit star, and they
then he
saying
had Ballin' too.
No, that's the same. That's the same song.
Oh yeah. I thought it was called. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's the like he blew up, and I thought he was gonna take off, but that motherfucker, his buzz lasted longer than them damn wallet chains that he used to wear.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Them flea box lasted longer than Jim Jones buzz.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't part of Bird Gang. I had the fucking Nike the ACG boots with the boot cut, you know what I'm saying, slim fit jeans, a wallet chain, and a shirt. They go, what?
Yeah, they couldn't tell you nothing. And if we being honest, Jim, I would like to attribute Stack's stardom to DJ Clue and Jim.
Yeah, like I say, we all heard Stack. Personally, I heard Stack from being with DJ Clue, of course. Storm, it was him. They had Fab, they had Budden, they had Paul Kane, they had the 18. They was stacked over there,
and they was rapping. Like you couldn't question their rapping ability.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. And then I guess Max was cool with French, and then French was, of course, no. Stack was cool with Chinks, obviously. Somehow or another, they all linked up, and he came over to Bird Gang, and that was dope. And again, I tell people this all the time, man. If things could have went different and Stack could have not been as real of a dude as he was, and could have just stayed out of the hood, like, son, you Stack bundles, you starting to pop. Why are you parking your all red Porsche or some shit like that
in the hood?
In the Red Fern Projects? I know that's where you from, but you also know that niggas hate. And I tell people this all the time. Exactly what 50 Cent said. 50 Cent said, I love the hood, but fuck the hood. And that's a fact. Because if you blow up and you don't give back to everybody that you grew up with, you can't hang around the same people. You can't. Even me. I'm not famous by no means. But when I go home and I see certain people, I say, what's up? I show love.
Get on with your day.
How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Y'all need $1 or something? All right. About to dip. All right, I'm about to go back to where I came from. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think him and Max, they just had it. And if you look at Jim took Stack's style, like the way he was. He took Max's like kind of like swag. So he took it and mixed both of them up and ran with it.
Yeah. No, it's clear. It's clear to see, you know, and he still does it now. Now, what's your thoughts on Chinks?
I think Chinks is dope, and I think it's also corny that people wasn't, and I don't know about everybody. I can't speak for everybody, but people wasn't talking about Chinks until right before / right after he died. Then everybody became a Chinks fan. That's just from my own point of view. I was fucking with his early mixtapes. Some was dope, and he also had that it fact. You know what I'm saying? Like he had it because Chinks was a real dude. You know what I'm saying? He did his street stuff. He went to jail, blah, blah, blah. But he could rap. And I like Chinks. I definitely like Chinks. And that shit is unfortunate too. Like, if you think about it, man, the fact that Max went to jail, Stax died,
Chinks died.
New York rap could have been totally different.
On all fronts. Because they all had something different with how they made music. You know, they wasn't all just, you know, Stack was a rapper. You feel me? Like he was the epitome of a rapper, and then Chinks is great on hooks. He could rap, you know. And then you got Max, who just had this, he had it, bro. Like you said, he had it.
And you can't create that. You can't like manufacture that. It's either you got it or you don't. And you can tell right off the bat that he had it. And Jim knew that, and he took it. See, what happened was, I think the same thing that happened with Tupac and Suge. where you go to jail. Not saying it's Mac's first time going to jail. Of course it wasn't, because he just got out from doing 8 years. But back then, that was like Tupac's, I guess, with that rape shit.
Yeah.
It was like his first time in jail. You know, he's probably shook, all that tough shit. I think, to me, it wasn't like an act, but it was an act. And that goes away once you're behind them walls and the jail doors closed or whatever.
Because it doesn't matter then.
Right, all that shit don't matter. So I think it was sort of like the same thing with Max. Max was so thirsty to get out, he was like, fuck it. You can have all that music. I'll sign whatever. And that's what he did. That's how Jim got all of his the rights to all his music to get him about it. I don't know if Jim paid the whole thing. Max was saying he paid some of it, then he said none, and blah blah blah. But that shit is unfortunate, man.
Yeah, but I think if he does get out, I don't think it's too late. Like you know, it's hard to, you can't really compare Boozy and Max because Boozy is trash. You know.
Oof. Oh shit.
No, I don't know what I don't like that. That was just something popular to say, like free Boozy. Man, the only song you ever listened to was Wipe Me Down. Shut up.
That's a fact. And independent.
Yeah, shut up, man. Y'all ain't said nothing about Boozy since he got out, son.
Talk.
I be getting upset. Like, where it went from free Boozy to I ain't heard a peep.
I hear you.
You know,
he more famous for his fade.
Yeah. How are you more famous for your look than what you're supposed to be famous for?
I can say this, man. I know them boys in the South love Boozy.
Oh,
up north, you not hearing no Boozy, not in New York. I don't know about everybody, but I know
Cali. I mean, but I don't know if that says much, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Rari and Cligga about that, you know. But
but what I can say is, and I say this all the time on the timeline, that I don't think people give the game enough respect. He's a clown and he does all this like weirdos type of stuff and he's a funny ass dude. Yeah. But again, I always say this, back then it was like, I might say Pac / Snoop, like Cube. And then once like Pac died, Cube became a father and all that and was doing that. And Snoop dipped and went to No Limit. It was the game.
Yeah, everybody Game held down the West for years.
And I feel like it's cool or whatever. And no offense to Nipsey, because he do what he do. But Nipsey wasn't around then. No. Or if he was, I didn't hear about him. I know from 2005, when I first heard of the game, until I'll say about maybe 2012, Son had the whole West on his back. He was the only one really coming out like that. He was out there. He was repping the West. He sounded like a New York dude rapping wise, and he paid homage to the East. That's why I fucked with. That's why I like the game.
Yeah.
He always paid homage to the East. Like, yo, I like Jadakiss. I like Nas. I like this one. I like that one. He knew what it was, but he was like, yo, I'm on the West. And he was a part of one of the biggest rap groups ever. And he was holding down the West. And I think it kind of like, see, that's what the only thing I don't understand with 50. 50 was more or less like he wants his people to be stars, but I don't think he wants them to be bigger than him. Right, like he want Banks and them to like, oh yeah, they need to go out and do their own thing and stop like eating off of me. But then when they do, you look, because all right, look, prime example, they came out with them weird ass G-Unit sneakers that had about 15 pairs.
Shit, man.
They had about 15 of them things, and
had 2 video games, man.
Right, so he came out with the shoes, and he's like, "Yo, we in G-Unit. These are G-Unit sneakers. Y'all all supposed to wear these.
You wearing Jordans and shit, yeah."
Right, Banks was wearing Gucci shoes, and he was like, "Yeah, all right." And you know what I'm saying? and back, like I said before, when Banks left that his second album that he was about to put out, Rotten Apple, I think it was the name of it. He left it at Shorty's house, and Shorty took it and put that shit out there. So he had to make that the Big Withdrawal, which was the name of the mixtape, and then he had to re-record everything. I think from that day, 50 was like, this motherfucker here.
Yeah, he on some other shit. The one thing I'll say with Nipsey is he ain't get popping till Hustle in the House came out.
I don't know what that was.
Well, that was the one song, you know, that like really got him in the West, like mainstream attention, you know. But onto the G Unit shit, it for me it's really unfortunate that Banks didn't get the attention that he really should deserve as a lyricist and an artist.
Right. I think it was because of the way he is, his demeanor. He don't seem the type of person that's gonna say a lot or do a lot or things of that nature or go out of his way. If he mess with you, he mess with you. If he don't, he don't. But yeah, Banks is one of the dopest to ever do this. All of his mixtapes is fire.
And his features
1 through 6, yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy when we talk about the game. Usually when you're in a huge I guess you could call it a faction or whatnot, that's really running the game as a whole, when you break away and you're, if not as popping, but more, that says something. Because at that time, G Unit was, to quote Max B, the wave. You know, and G Unit was being played everywhere, all through the United States. It didn't matter if you're in the South, if you're in the North, if you're in the West. G Unit was. I had a pair of G Units. I was in California. You feel me? And Game left, and them diss tracks. That really hurt G Unit's progression. When Game left and he dropped, them, 300 bars and 400 bars and running. And there was nothing you could do with him.
Right. You couldn't do nothing, because it's one thing if he was doing all that and he was trash at rapping. You could be like, whatever. But son was spitting. And whether you believe, right, and he was just going and going. Like, that's what I like about Game. You could tell he studies the game. That's his name. Right. You could tell he studies, and he was like, all right, say less. I'm about to wild out. And then he came to New York with the GU not
a little campaign.
He had picket signs looking for 50 Cent. That dude was clown, man. It's GU not. That shit was dope though. But at the end of the day, you can't. There's certain people you really can't. If your money not like that, you can't really like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like what you say. If you haven't had sex with any more bitches than me, I can't really talk to me.
Because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but if I feel the insides of a female way more than you have, I'm gonna say that, and you're gonna look crazy, and I'm gonna repeat it, and you're gonna continue to look.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Game was amazing at rapping, but 50 had the vitamin water sponsorships. He was selling them bum ass shoes. He had a video game or two.
And who do you think they're gonna side with? If they're like, yo, we doing Summer Jam, 50's on it, hey, we trying to get Game on it. If 50's like, yo, I'm not doing it if you put the Game on there, who you think they're gonna side with?
50, obviously.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm like, that shit don't work. And I think 50 knew he couldn't do that same shit with Ross. Like, if you notice, Ross was rapping at 50. Like, people, like, I don't know if people realize Ross kicked 50's ass.
Yeah, no. And you and I have talked about it. 50's record with rap beefs, it's not that great. It's actually pretty shaky.
It's very shaky. So what 50 did was, what I like to do is called deflection. 50 was like, I know I can't out-rap this fat motherfucker, so I'm gonna go with Floyd.
Embarrass him.
Right, take a picture with his kid and do all this extra stuff, which could sway the opinion, but I know different, and I know rap, and that ain't got nothing to do with rap. Right. You know what I'm saying? That had nothing to do with it. And 50 knew he was doing the Pimpin' Curly. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Ross made Mafia music. He shut all your shit down like that. Rick Ross, like that beat, no chorus. Rick Ross just rapping.
Yeah. And
Rick Ross wasn't scared. That's why I fuck with Ross. Like, a lot of those people get into beef with 50 and they be like, oh, I'm shook or I ain't gonna say all that. Rick Ross didn't give a fuck. He was like,
what's going on? And you could say all the, you was a prison guard and you stole your name and shit. He demolished 50.
Yeah, he
To the
did.
point where 50 still talks about, he still tries to joke on it, and that's the type of dude 50 is. But
Mhm.
if you're if you knew deep in your soul that you lost, clear, you wouldn't be leaving it alone either, you
Right.
know.
Just like I say with certain people who ain't gonna say no battle rappers' names right now that want rematches.
Mm-hmm.
They want rematches. Don't if I win a fight or if I win something, I don't want a rematch. I won. Fuck I need
Yeah.
to fight for. I won. But like, yeah, 50 know what it is. But overall, he's still successful. Ross still doing his thing. And
Ross still making good music too. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
difference between those two.
Right. 50, what does he do? Is he making music still or what?
Man, the last song I heard from 50 that was new, it was with like Kid or something.
Yeah,
And that
I'm
told
all set
me,
on Kid
yeah,
Kid,
that told me everything I needed to know.
man. I'm all set on that
Yeah.
new Kid.
Yeah, you could keep that animal ambition and all that other all that other bullshit you doing 50. Just stick on the gram. Go at Mona Scott. Do
Yeah,
what I fuck with that. But in terms of making music, we good. Don't tarnish your legacy as much as you have been already.
I am all set. All set.
And the worst part is the same people he's beefing with or beef with in the past are making music now, and they're better than anything 50's put out since I don't even know when.
Yeah. Oh, this is somebody that I want to bring up. I don't really particularly like him because I think he's a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
But Bo Jutton, that boy could rap. He could
Oh
rap.
yeah.
And when it comes to these little these little beefs, don't nobody want it with him. Like at the end of the
No.
day, man, again, that's why I think people could value my opinion on a lot of topics because I keep it like 100. Like
Yeah.
even if I don't particularly like the person, I
You're gonna
give
be
credit
honest.
where it's due. Some be rapping his ass off. That's what he does. That's why like you can't uh, you can't like go into a rap beef with Joe Budden.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because he studies it. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's not stupid. And he's a rapper. He's a rapper's rapper. And
Yeah.
he was cooking the game. But I personally like the games. Like he had the joint called like, over the colors beat. That
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
colors
yeah.
called Buttons. I just like the shit that the game was saying because it was some like you know what I'm saying, some gangster shit. But Button was coming at the G Unit and he was not stopping.
No.
He had a diss like every week. And when he was beefing with Ransom, see what, what they what they
Man.
what they do is just like the game, just like Ransom, they were battling Joe Button and they were all good, but Button was better. So what they started doing was, well, fuck that. Let's take it to the street then. And
Yeah, exactly.
they know Button's not a street dude like that, so they like, all right, fuck
Not
you
at
don't want
all.
to fight me. You can't whip my ass though.
Yeah, exactly. And it's man, that video with the ice pack on his face.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
was bad. Yeah.
Hold on. Before we get into that, I think people need to pay homage to Joe Button because not even because of the rap shit. Joe Button was like the first reality type of shit. He had Joe Button TV when like YouTube,
With what's her name? Yeah, Tahiri.
right? He would go around with his camera, just record everything. And I don't think people give him enough credit for starting that wave. He was the first one, man. He was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure was. And shout out to Venom. We get on him a lot, but uh, no matter how corny that man is, I'll never take away the fact that he can rap better than 90% of these rappers out right now. You know,
Yep.
and in the past, the rappers out right now, that don't mean much, but in the past 10 years, I'd say, y'all like to say pump it up and shit, like ha ha he he, but
Right.
he was Drake before Drake making emotional music and shit. And
Yeah.
then Drake just took the whole thing, added some singing to it, and just made it his own.
Amen.
And I think that Drake made a very wise decision by
Yeah.
not replying to Budden's diss.
And like I like to look at it like kind of how I looked at it two ways. One, I looked at it like Drake didn't want that smoke because he knew what it was. And two, if I don't respond to you, I make you look worse.
Yeah, he made him look small.
Right, because Budden, you could tell, because Budden, he released 3 disses back to back to back. And although they were fire, is anybody really going to bring those up in the greatest disses of all time? No, because Drake didn't say nothing back.
It's like you trying to holler at a shorty, right? And she don't even reply. So you send another text. She don't even reply. You send another one, professing your love for her, and she leaves you on red. Y'all don't even she ain't even give you the respect to say leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what Drake did. What up, Tab?
What up, bro? What up?
What's going on?
Shit, bro. Eating on some good bacon right now, bro.
They can eat a swine. Tab eating a swine early. It ain't.
I'm eating good turkey bacon, bro. I'm on my course.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But nah, yeah. Drake shouldn't have responded to Budden. He knew what it was.
Yeah, it would have got spooky for him because he can't out rap him.
Nah, that shit was weird. This whole thing, I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like it's already been like overcooked.
Down, yeah.
Pusher thing and
y'all was giving a eulogy for Drake.
No. We was talking about a whole bunch of shit.
Oh. But nah, like yeah, like it just he looking corny in the light, and like he just looked bad. The whole situation looked bad. Jay Prince coming to your rescue,
and that's what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna say about that Jay Prince shit is talking about Kanye does nothing for nobody. He already ruined any legacy he had. talking about I got told I had a mental illness, but it's a superpower. No, you dummy. You dummy. What the fuck? You don't got no superpower. You super corny.
And the most annoying part is that the way these people are on social media, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, he talking about how he support Trump and this and the third. Everybody
talking about slavery's a choice.
Right. Everybody dragging him through the mud. He drop a album or a listening party. And everybody, look, it went from, Kanye's wilding. He doing this, that, and the third. Then he dropped some music that you like. And now it's, those are his political views. And they have nothing to do with his music. And I separate the two. Like, what? All of a sudden, you want to separate the two when it's Kanye. But if that was like, say if that Jay-Z or somebody, I'm not separating the two. But
no.
Kanye West got some weird-ass fans. All y'all weirdos.
Yeah, they below battle rap fans.
Battle rap is life got the weirdest fans. Them
dog, man.
Us. The battle rap is life ones is I can't
yeah, it might go Kanye fans, wrestling fans, and then battle rap life fans.
You gotta throw Nicki Minaj fans in there too. They some weirdos too. They got the sassy. Yeah. They got the sassiest men in there too.
You ain't like, hey, you guys see that Drake dance? He just, that was on Twitter.
Drake, wow, bro.
Bro, he was in that turtleneck doing some shit.
Hey, he was in that shit, bro.
He was making waves with his arms and all sorts of wild shit. I'm like, this is very sassy.
Wait, why is he? You said Drake?
Yes.
Yeah, Drake.
Shouldn't he be responding to Pusha? This nigga Drake.
Nah, he in the middle of an EDM club doing some wild shit.
Push beat the little bit of straight he had out of him.
And this y'all king?
No. Say it ain't Drake.
And this y'all king?
Good. Well, he not black. He Canadian black. That's different.
No, I definitely saw the light skin in him. And I'm allowed to say that because it's Drake.
Yeah.
But the light skin was definitely illuminated at that moment.
I'm not watching that. Please don't retweet that so I can see that.
I got you, bro. I'm gonna retweet it right now. I'm about to find it.
And the turtleneck. That turtleneck is wild.
Why you got a turtleneck on in the what is going on? That's y'all serious?
I know dude was bro.
I'm dead ass.
Had to be hot in there, man.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable.
And the worst part is he in the middle of his own dance circle. Ain't no one dancing with him. He out here doing the 1-2 step
Pop
and
locking.
all sorts of wild shit by himself.
Pusha beat that man insane. No homo. Jesus.
Pusha turned him into Kanye.
He beat a little bit of straight out of him. That's all I'm seeing.
It was almost coming out, and he just kicked the rest of it out of him.
Yeah, if you don't get your all my exes live in Texas out of here, what the fuck wrong with you, Drake?
What the fuck?
I be getting so upset, man. Like, I be hating it.
You know what's crazy? How they try to say like Wayne is about to jump in. Wayne need to worry about getting his money from Baby and them.
Wayne need to worry about a whole lot of other shit.
Right, Wayne. Baby been owing you about $60 million for the longest time. Yo, Birdman be out here. Birdman be out here buying solid gold toilet seats and flamingos and shit with the money he's supposed to give you, and you worry about jumping in and helping Drake. Get the hell out of here, Wayne. Get out of here.
Man, we ain't gonna talk about how Gilly
front like your daddy. Jesus.
Yeah. Kissing him for a check.
He was on their neck.
Dog, I've seen that video with Dutch and Gilly.
Yeah.
Had to be at least 15 times.
Yeah.
Where Dutch is like, man, I can't even bring my mama around you.
Yep. That's a fact. And when I fuck with Gilly, because there was they had did this little, it was so weird how like shit could happen. They interviewed Cassidy and they asked Cassidy about who's running Philly and who's doing stuff, and he was like, "What do you think about Gilly?" And Cass was like, "I don't know. Fuck you asking me for." So they showed that to Gilly, and Gilly snapped.
Gilly went to his block, and Dark Low came out on his block and started bumping Gilly.
Yep.
He's like,
you ain't
even been here. You ain't even been to Philly. You can't even come here. And then he's like, Dark Low, what you playing? That's that new Gilly. I was like, if you don't get that trash ass music out of here, but I respect it.
Yeah, man. That and I don't know, man. I never really liked AR Ab. I don't like Ab. I don't like the way he moved. He might be like a goon or whatever, but he do too much talking. Like he just run his mouth too. He be doing all this stuff on live and in interviews. Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna kill nobody on camera, I don't believe you, Ab.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, you was looking crazy in that one blog about Meek. You know, just got out all shot up. You know, like, man, some of these Philly cats move in mysterious ways. That's the only way I could put it. You know, Gilly, the only one I fully respect. You know, Meek out here slipping on stairs. You know,
I hope Meek get it back, man. I really hope he get it back.
I do too. Because Meek, he might got 3 of the dopest intro songs in rap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
You know, that even better than DMX's first joint.
And I think what happened with Meek was Meek. He seemed like the type of person, if you look at them old DVDs, you could tell he was bummy. Meek probably never had no pretty girl in his entire life. Rick Ross gave him a haircut, cleaned him up, and then he was able to like get with Nicki or whatever, and he lost his mind. He started really feeling himself, and it just went left, man. But I feel bad for Meek, man. I hope he get his shit together.
Yeah, I do too, man. I was listening to Meek before the Dream Chasers mixtapes.
Right, because he was I think when he had got out, he was with like what's his name? And then that just kind of like I guess
what was it? He was with Rose Red and that shit, and then he got T.I. and Ross to get on that shit.
If you notice, there's certain people that can't bring people out. Like, I mean, besides like Young Dro, T.I. doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not the type of person that could bring somebody out. I'm trying to think who else is like that. Like, they have their own record label, and you don't hear nobody else. Like, or even like Dream Chasers. Are we really trying to hear Millie?
Nah, the only one I really rocked with, and he really trash now, is Louis V. Gutta.
Yeah,
and then Lil Snoop. Lil Snoop was fire. It's really unfortunate because he was like a better Boosie.
Hey, Tev, what you think about Boosie?
Who was that?
Thank you.
Who was that?
Trash, man. He don't know more. He just posts pictures of his new haircut, son. I hate Boosie. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all can at me. Y'all can curse me out, call me everything you want. Boosie is trash. I don't care. I don't care if he got cancer or not. He cannot rap.
Goodness gracious.
Get that independent wipe me down motherfucker out of here.
Right.
What's wrong with y'all?
Y'all want me to listen to a nigga who had the same face for 40 years? No.
Son dressed like the Gap Kids section.
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. They was trying to get at me the other day when I think I put that up a couple weeks ago. That I was like, yo, I can't get with it. I just could never. All these dudes from the South was trying to come at my neck, but people in the South can't read, so that's for another time and day.
Yeah, Fantasia reads better than them.
Right.
Niggas from the South still wear 4XL.
That should be wild.
Talking crazy.
And one in pro clubs.
Baby Fat Farm, all that.
Fat Farm sneakers.
Y'all still got the Air Force One mids.
Right.
Yeah, we was talking about that. That's a real man, G-Unit. That's unfortunate. That was worse than the Reebok bubbles.
Man, damn S-Dots like rubber bowling shoes.
Yeah, these rappers gotta stop making shoes. Yeah. You know, I fuck with Cam to the highest extent, but the Adidas or whatever that was not it.
Oh, fucking flea box. The
Reebok. That was not it. That was not it. He had some joints in all pink. I saw him on Flight Club actually. I was looking earlier. So for some flea box, I was like, man, these are not it.
Yeah, man. And him and Hell Rel's in the kitchen crying.
Yeah.
That's another dude that need to stay off social media. Hell Rel,
Fortune?
Hell Rel, stay off of social media, my guy.
What did Cam say? You gotta take some karate classes and film it.
That's some good ass advice. Take some karate classes and film it. Jesus.
Man, that's why I respect Kev. He don't care if he fuck with you or not. He gonna get at you.
Yeah, I don't even think they mess with each other no more. But
nah, I don't think any of them Dipset dudes like Joel's and Cam. Cam talk about he had a fruit punch water fountain at the crib.
Yeah, man. You know? And that shit was. It's unfortunate him too. It's unfortunate what happened with Joel's. Like to me.
Yeah. Joel's ain't got no teeth running out the TSA line.
It was supposed to be Vado, Joel's, Fab, and Banks. They were supposed to be like a little, not like it wasn't gonna be like no real group, but probably do like a couple projects. You know what I'm saying? And that's New York City. That shit would have been.
It would have been the same as like what Joe Budden was doing with Stax and Desert Storm.
Right. That would have been fire to me. But again,
and
that's why I fuck with when it comes to music. I fuck with the South because. The South don't care about none of that beef and blah blah blah. You'll see maybe Young Thug or whoever, somebody like that's not down with QC quality control, wearing the quality control chain. Like you know what I'm saying? You'll never see.
Yeah, but the South ain't popular. So on that, you know, on that note, I gotta get to this training. So
I'll holler
at you.
Stay up.
All right.